Apparently, according to Jacob, there are hostiles. So let's immediately save. And I mean, I don't know where you saw them, Jacob, but I'm not seeing them. Also, we might as well, I suppose, make a point of switching our weapons and making sure that we put our ammo effect on those as well while we're at it. While we have this downtime. And, of course, our friends only have 2 weapons, but we have 3.
Switch up! Change weapons!
So let's activate it for that as well. Okay. Should be good now. In fact, do we want Carnifex? Yeah, let's have Kasumi be on the Carnifex, and we should go back to the get the plasma shotgun. Okay, so got, well, something through here, and Jacob was saying potential for enemies, and I imagine that is likely the case. Except, maybe didn't need to be that proactive. Charging up our shot. There's a dead body over there. Are there actual enemies, though?
Warning. Pressure levels in valve D4 have exceeded maximum threshold.
Does it help if we shoot it?
Control is required.
Apparently not. Before we do that, though, I want to see if there's... Oh, an explosive container. Good thing we didn't just so happen to shoot in that direction, but that could be relevant later on. If we do find ourselves getting swarmed by enemies, then that presumably could be a factor. Yeah, not really anything else over here. So, here goes nothing. We'll bypass it, but I imagine we may get ambushed as soon as we're done. Let's see. Nope, not you. 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 You, which means by default, you. There, we're getting ambushed. I hear stuff, but I don't yet see stuff. The fact that there's an explosive container here just makes me feel as if there's got to be something that's going to attack us here. Let's take a look at our updates. So we have Vulcan Station, of course, which is where we currently are. Vulcan Station has an override control that must be activated to end the lockdown at Atlas Station. Find the override switch to disable the lockdown. So, well, we fixed the pressure valve, but that might be it in terms of stuff over here. For the moment, at least. Just trap our friends over in that room while we're at it. And that may be all there is to this. No enemies at all, no real loot, just one explosive container that you can potentially accidentally explode on yourself if you happen to fire a wayward shot at it. Although, noticing how we can't go back into our hammerhead here, and I'm thinking, perhaps, as it turns out, we may need to break through this thing to get through to a more distant part of the station. So, assuming you overload it, that does not do it. In that case, let's poke it with a weapon that we don't care about, namely our SMG. Are you fully exploded? I think you are now fully exploded. So we can now get through. We have a med kit over here, and we have enemies. They are now out. Did I hit you through that? I did not.
Trouble coming.
Okay, there's seemingly just one left. In which case, Kasumi, if you could just, like, shadow strike this dude, that'd be lovely.
Down you go.
Okay, is that all? Music is still playing. Makes me think the answer to that question is probably no. There is a medkit over here that I would kind of like to pick up before we forget about it. At the very least, to get ourselves... Oh, we actually did need the med shell because we used some on our previous station we went to. So that is particularly relevant here. There's another explosive container, which we, of course, don't want to have blown up on us. But we can strategically try to use it against our opponents if they do happen to go in that area. Let's see, is there anything over here? Seemingly not. Okay. Whoop. Now we've got friends. It's an assault drone, actually. And hold on, we got a lot more where that came from, it seems. So, Kasumi, if you could overload some stuff. Seems like a pretty good time for that to happen. Oh, whoa. Oh, that's an assault drone. Okay, for a second I thought that was a Loki mech doing an incredibly acrobatic jump over this barrier. It's like, well done, dude. Ooh, we are getting flanked in a bad way. It seems. Assault drones causing a bit of problems. They're pulled by Jacob. Let's see, what do we have? I can see an assault drone here. Which, assuming if you could just, like, overload this real quick.
Did I do that? Haha.
Well done, Kasumi. She's taking hits, though. She's taking some serious hits. She might have just gone down. Have you retreat if you can? Ooh, hello. I'd like for you to not do that, preferably. You may not be down. Also, we're running out of ammo, which is rather unfortunate. That may mean we have to go SMG here.
Eat it. Down you go.
Okay, that's another one down. Still got this guy who may not really be able to see us from our kind of sort of slight cover here. But then again, are we getting many hits with our SMG? Our extremely inaccurate SMG? Every now and again, I think, maybe. If we get a little bit closer, then we might actually be able to get the overload off.
Eat it.
Now we're getting flanked on this side. Give ourselves a second to get those shields back. Again, let's... Overload is our friend. Oh, did that? I think that did hit, actually. First, I did not think that it did. Can you from here? We can. I think. You cannot hit us, so let's do it. There you see the amazing damage. Totally amazing damage of our SMG. That appears to have been the last of them. Intense music is gone, so, okay, we can breathe a sigh of relief. I don't think that fight should have been nearly as difficult as we made it seem. But we have taken them out, so job is done in that sense, at very least. Also make a point of picking up this ammo here. I think that is definitely going to be needed, because we ran out of ammo on the shotgun, which is partially what started to make that much more complicated. See, that's the explosive container that we definitely don't want to blow up when we are standing next to it. That is probably not a recipe for success. Is that ammo as well, or is that just a random boulder? That's a very nice boulder, except that's actually a pipe. Yeah, so, like, where do we actually go, though? It looks like down this way. Climb up this? There's another explosive container, which we might need to actually blow up to make room for us to get through here. Signs of enemies? Not yet. But I wouldn't rule it out. If you can actually get up, Shepard, that'd be lovely. Thank you. There's a door here before we go through it. Let's see if there's anything else around here, because usually when there's a door that obviously directly in front of us, tends to be some kind of benefit to looking around a bit, so we can at the very least restock at the full ammo again. Anything over here, though? Eh? Oh, yes. Medical station, as I was saying, we actually do need the Metagel. We were using that previously. That is particularly helpful, and then... Oh. So that looks like a big arena in which we're going to find some Loki mechs. So maybe that is actually the right way, in which case let's make a point of checking this side door over here, the door that I initially thought was the primary direction. So we have, oh yes, a wall safe. For 1,500 credits, don't mind if I do. Oh, and another research log. Hold on. Before we do that, let's just see if there's anything hiding in this corner. Doesn't look like it.
Received an SOS from Atlas Station. Archer has declared a project emergency. We're trying to shut down the power generators to starve the VI, but it's already hacked our automated systems. I'm ordering my people to sabotage the plant any way they can.
Hey, what's up? Really annoying sound effect. Okay, so Got a little bit of credits from going that way. A little bit more information. I mean, they tried to shut down the power source, which makes sense. Presumably would be one of the best ways to stop this thing from actually spreading. But eventually did find a way to override them. Okay, so we already saw definitely some mechs over here. At least one Loki mech. I imagine there's got to be more where that came from. Let's prepare accordingly.
We've been spotted.
Oh, that definitely did not hit. Okay. I kind of like this spot over here, though. Back here.
Right.
Sure thing.
I think I would prefer if we stood back here. Use this cover. I assume we could, like, actually get cover. That'd be great. Like actually get cover. That'd be great.
Can I do them?
Although, admittedly, you taking that guy out was definitely not bad.
You got
Okay, I mean, we can pull, for what it's worth. Not that that makes a huge difference here when it was about to die anyway, but there's just one less mech that we need to be concerned about. And we do have, a Yammer mech over here, so that's a big boy. That is definitely much more threatening. There is also a set of assault drones back there that, in theory, may be able to pepper us a bit. Now, I don't know to what extent this mech can actually get over here, track us down. It is trying to do that, though. Don't think that was a fully charged shot. This is. Please get over here where I can actually shoot you in the face. Shields are not down. But we can overload you. We are, out of ammo on the shotgun. I'm trying to see if there's any obvious source of additional ammo in this room. It doesn't look like it, sadly. Let's switch over to our SMGs. Actually, a little bit better, specifically against the shields. Okay, Jacob, you're not going to want to stand there. Approximately right now. Okay, now it's down to armor. Which means we want to switch over to the pistol. In that case, you could, like, actually get back over here. That'd be great. And now it's the mechs over there we're starting to get shot from. More so than this guy. Okay, let's not get hit by that. Preferably. Yeah, I mean, if we could get rid of the assault drones back there, that'd be great, but for the most part, I'm treating them as second priority.
I've got him.
Oh, full on the mech. You don't see that very often. Alright, and while we're at it, let's try Shadow Striking it.
Tag.
And there you see how much damage it does. It's almost enough to take it out. Don't think our Shockwave has this kind of range, but we can try. Actually did hit. And there actually is a combo between pull and Shockwave that I don't really think we've ever had the chance to use thus far. I'm trying to press forward to get some actual ammo here so we can go back to using the shotgun. The Yammer mech's down, so in theory, that may mean that we're just looking at these guys at this stage, which, you know, in numbers, can still be annoying. Don't want to completely write them off here. You down? That one was down. Assume he is doing something. Not entirely sure what. Getting their attention at least, and perhaps shooting the one that we were also focusing on. Okay. Think they're down. Nice. So yeah, definitely taking on the big mech from this room back here. Very helpful. Very helpful as it turns out. We are still definitely light on the ammo though, so if we can find a place to nab a little bit more, that'd be great. Also, this computer has a decent sum of credits in it. It's not bad long term, but I wouldn't mind if we could pick up more ammo. somewhere. Anywhere, really. Just preferably, you know, like in this room before we end up fighting additional enemies, because I'd like to make sure we can actually use our shotgun, because it has 0 ammo at the moment. And, well, not seeing any clips over here, sadly. So I think we're just carrying on, and that means we gotta carry on with either our pistol or our SMG, sadly, at least until we find a little bit more ammo of some variety somewhere. Let's save while we're at it, because that was a pretty big fight there. Taking down what was basically a boss, at least a mini-boss. Okay. Then we've got you guys. These guys are going to be a pair. They are. And I think these guys are going to be a pair. They are. And then I almost misclicked, but there we have it. Huh? Oh. Hello. What is it doing? Oh. Okay. It just runs away. Don't mind us. Again, super annoying sound.
Commander Shepard, this is Dr. Archer. Please respond.
I hear you, Doctor. We've hit the override at Vulcan Station and are moving on.
Ah, well... Oh. Leave that mech undisturbed. Thanks, Kasumi.
Shepard out.
Alright, and with that, having finished that station, means we are technically done with this sub-component of Overlord, which gives us another 250 experience, and that is enough for us to level, so that is big. We'll also, well, I mean, we've successfully issued the override command on the Vulcan station. We still know that there is one more Promethean station, and then once we do that, then we can get into the Atlas station, where we're expecting the actual VI to be. Then in terms of credits, we found actually more than Cerberus gave us, so that is still a strange number, which makes me a little bit suspicious that we might have missed something, but anyways, there's the credits, and we got Iridium as well.
Commander, that was a daring piece of work. Vulcan Station was a success. You still need to go to Prometheus Station and override the lockdown from there. Good luck.
Alright, so, we have one more station to unlock stuff in, and we, of course, have these little arrows pointing us in the general direction. We know that there are, in theory, 3 other spots where we can get one of those data discs. So if we get the chance to do so, I think it'd be nice to try to make that happen. Again, technically, I don't think there's any reward for doing so, unlike... Oh. Alright, we saw that previously. I don't think it was that, but more so the waterfall. Over here. Ish. Let's crash into it while we're at it. Yeah, if we can get the data discs, then why not, even if there's no achievement for it, I suppose. That, I believe, is one of the stations where we went to previously to get one of those data discs, but we have already succeeded in doing so. Just double check here real quick. I don't think the turrets will be back, because of course this was guarded by turrets initially. Now, doesn't look like it? Okay, so we should be good in that sense. I imagine that most of the remaining data discs will be in this general direction. That makes sense if, you know, half of them were on sort of the Vulcan half, whereas half of them were more on the Prometheus half. So of course we'll get closer, yes, but we'll also try to make a point of looking around a little bit here. Make sure we don't miss anything, because that looks like our way through past that waterfall. But might there be anything else over in this direction, because that looks like something flying over there. Off in the sky. I can't tell what it's supposed to be. Because it looks like dinosaurs? What the heck? Excuse me? What are those? What are those? I don't know. That's my first time having seen those. Okay, but nothing lootable there, it does not seem. Unless we press further in this direction, in which case, I'm thinking, could be something through here. That looks like that is the direction which is trying to take us directly for the station, though. In which case, why don't we try sneaking around this waterfall first? Initially, I thought that was going to be the quote-unquote correct direction, so I was deliberately avoiding it, but no, I think this may be more so the kind of side area down which we might expect to find either some additional resources or one of those data disks. Might just be an alternative way to get to the same place. I am seeing a data disk here. Question is it guarded? Hello? Apparently not.
Another Cerberus data packet has been recovered.
That's nice. This dead end, it certainly looks like it. Yeah, let's not go there then. Let's maybe refrain from going there. And yeah, so it's trying to tell us to go in this direction. I'm not sure if we actually can get up through here or not. But I'm thinking the way that we do that without absolutely annihilating the hammerhead is probably to go around the other way, where we were seen before. Because if they have to go through the wall, we might be able to go over it, but probably still a little bit easier to go this way instead. Through this little archway. I did not realize we could hold that for so long. Wow. And then in doing so, crashed into this thing, but I don't realize we had that much ability to boost. Actually makes us much speedier than I'd realized. Just me here, did we see a flash of gunfire there for a second? Also, is there anything up here? Doesn't look like it. Oh? Oh, we're technically close enough to actually go to Prometheus Station. I'm a little surprised. Because, of course, we know we have not yet gotten all the data disks. Makes me wonder... Hold on. Hold on. Ow. Where the other ones might be. Again, it's not really the end of the world if we don't get them, but it'd be kind of nice to... Whoa, do that. Okay, apparently we automatically enter the station if we get close enough. I did not press the button, for what it's worth. Okay, so now we've got really we can spend points here? I know I realized that was a thing. But so now, of course, last time, or the first time, we were fighting specifically Geth. The second time, we were fighting mechs, and that sort of changed our strategy. When we were going against the Geth, we were thinking more specifically anti-shields. When we were going against the more generic mechs, we were thinking more I mean, a combination of anti-shields and anti-armor. But I think this time we're probably looking to go anti-shields once more. In which case, our squad last time, when we were going with that route, was Zaid plus Miranda. So that's definitely an option. Kasumi is still an option as well when it comes to anti-shields, because she does have that overload. I think, what do we have? Both Miranda and Kasumi are both on rank 2 overload? Or am I mistaken? Just trying to think if one of those might be a tiebreaker. Of course, Miranda has probably better passives because she's given additional health to the remainder of the squad, whereas Kasumi is more pure damage with her Shadow Strike. Miranda does also have additional damage to armor a little bit with her her warp, so I think we get a little more of a versatile skill set if we do go with Miranda. So maybe play it a little bit safer and go with this setup, I think. And now, remember, we did level up at the end of that previous one, so that means we do have a couple more points here to work with, which means we could go all the way up to rank 4 charge, which is something we were eyeing previously. let's see what our options are here. I mean, we could do this, or alternatively, we could just load a bunch of points into Pole and get rank 2 and rank 3 here, and in doing so, just increase the duration from what is currently 5 up to 9, which is pretty huge, especially for a skill that has a 3-second recharge time. So we could have, in theory, I think you are allowed to have numerous enemy pulled simultaneously. But if we do go with rank 4 charge, it means we will get the option to go in one of two directions, either heavy charge, to greatly increase the impact, knocking targets back further and doing more damage. Focus generated by this field also briefly slows down the world around us, giving us more time to react when coming out of the charge. That is actually a effect that we have seen at least once before. If you remember the brief moments after we fired the Cane, the heavy weapon mini nuke launcher, even though it's not technically doing that, that we fired on those 3 Yammer mechs when we were doing the mission to try to stop them from collecting all the or destroying all the crates. It did slow down, dilate time briefly. It wasn't really relevant at the time because we'd already gotten rid of all the enemies, but especially with something like Charge, where we're charging directly into our opponents and potentially putting ourselves in a very dangerous situation, that is something that's very helpful. So that's something to consider. Otherwise, we get Area Charge, improving our charge so that it unleashes a wave of biotic force around the impact point, knocking back all enemies within the range. So a question of basically single target damage and some additional time dilation quality of life that might help us be a little bit safer, versus area damage, which, although not doing as much damage to a single target, means that if we're incapacitating everyone around us, that's also probably a safer option even than the heavy charge. So that way, you know, it's not like we charge into one person, stagger them, and then immediately the person right next to them just shoots us in the face and we're dead. So let's upgrade it here, where we can look in greater detail. So if we take heavy charge, then we get actually 100% of our shields back, whereas if we go for area charge, we only get 75, which I believe is our current setup. Recharge time is 6 seconds either way, range 40 meters either way, but the impact force is 1,000 for the heavy charge, whereas it is 750 for the area charge. So there you can see there is definitely a difference there. So the difference is the damage slash force, which is basically how much we're knocking people back, and by extension how long they're incapacitated for. Whereas area, we're knocking back more people. Shield duration, the same. The impact radius, though, is of course the big thing that comes from area charge with that 3 meters. So you really could go either way here. It is, I think, largely a matter of personal preference, and I was kind of going back and forth in terms of what I was thinking we might want to do. I mean, we, at the moment, or at least we didn't have much in the way of area abilities until we started going with the pull. That was really our only crowd control option. For the most part, we've been relying on our allies to do that for us. So I was thinking that it might be helpful for us to go with area charge here, so that we have a little more flexibility when it comes to our squad mates, where we don't rely on them entirely to do the crowd control for us. Because, you know, for us, it's basically like, you know, we have our weapons. When we run out of ammo, we are in rough shape unless we happen to have a weak enemy that we're willing to charge in to finish off with our charge. But otherwise, we're rather hesitant to go straight in and put ourselves in a place where we could end up making matters significantly worse. So you could absolutely go either way, but I think I'm going to go with area charge. So that's big. That is definitely a reason why staggering all those neighboring enemies makes it a lot safer for us to do the charge. And likewise, the heavy charge would have helped because we would have gotten additional shields back, and we also would have staggered our opponents a little bit more. We do also have some additional points here for both Miranda and for Zaid, although unfortunately Miranda needs one more point before she can actually upgrade either Overload or Warp. So can't quite do anything there. We can upgrade Concussive Shot to rank 3 for Zaid, although I don't really think that's all that necessary, or at the very least certainly not a very high priority, because, I mean, I don't really think this is going to make a huge difference. Upgrading it further will increase the force, yes, increase the damage a little bit, but for the most part, all we need is a little bit of knockdown effect, and that's something we're still getting even at the lower levels, so I don't really think that's necessary. What we can do, though, is get his passives for some additional health and some additional weapon damage, and that should start to add up pretty darn quickly at 12.5% every time we get one of these levels. So that's nice. And then in terms of weapons here, let's see, what were we doing? We were going arc projector. I mean, other than that, everything is, I think, pretty well established at this point. So I think we carry on with what we have. And we are, at least at the moment, still in the Hammerhead.
Commander Shepard, Prometheus Station is a crashed Geth ship full of dormant machines used in our experiment. Our people there have gone silent. It's likely the VI has activated the defense shields to keep you out. Good luck.
Oh. Also, there's a little interactable thing, or at least looks like there is, directly in front of us, this little square. It's a little strange. I'm guessing there's another invisible wall behind us, as we saw previously. But let's just verify. Can't actually scan this for anything, can we? Where'd you go? Did you disappear now? Yeah, I think it's maybe just a little... Oh, no, hold on, it's back. Confirm. There is not actually anything over there. Okay, well, yeah, that certainly looks like a Geth ship. And those certainly look like shields. So, hold on. Hold on. Before we go charging down there. Boom! Okay, well, turns out we aren't supposed to go that way.
Analysis. Generators are providing power for main shield.
Generators are providing power for the main shield, you say. Okay. Well, let's take a look at our journal entry here. So, we have, of course, finished Vulcan Station, but we're now on to Prometheus Station. Prometheus Station has an override control that must be activated to end the lockdown at Atlas Station, much like we saw with Vulcan Station. Store the shield generators and the Geth cannon. So, here's the thing. There's a gigantic cannon over here, and there are generators over here. So, the tricky thing is, that cannon is humongous. So, we don't want that thing to shoot at us.
Warning, the VI infection has assumed control of the Geth cannon.
And it has control of that.
Warning, we are being targeted.
But it can... Oh, well, we're about to get annihilated, potentially. We can use its cannon to take down the very generators that we are trying to destroy here. So I'm deliberately trying to get its attention.
Recommend evasive maneuvers.
And then get out of the way. Is that working? I think it is. Or at least it's getting rid of these. Whoa, I went in the wrong way. We're toast. Potentially.
Warning, Geth cannon is locking on our location.
Okay, I would love if you could actually, like, hit these things that I'm trying to shoot at right now.
Recommend evasive maneuvers.
Yep, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So we're getting rid of the shields using the big cannon.
Warning, we are being targeted.
Yeah, I see that. Gonna hit us again pretty soon, I think. No? If you could actually hit this, that'd also be great. This is a terrible place to be stuck right now. So it obviously has a pretty huge area of effect. Does make matters a little bit tricky. Taking it out. Could actually go down, that'd be lovely. Okay, there we go, just this one left. Bad spot, bad spot. Ooh. Love to actually destroy you. Okay, so now we can target the Geth cannon. Except we may have just lost because we fell down here. Wonderful timing. Oh, okay. So apparently that was a safe spot. So that's great. Also, from point blank, it cannot target us. So that means we get all the time in the world taken out here. I think. Oh, anything hit us? So down it goes.
Further threats detected. Entry into the ship is now clear.
It's an interesting way to take it down, but no. So you can, I believe, shoot down the barriers from well, outside, or well, you can shoot down the shields on the generators yourself. It takes a really long time to do so, though, and of course, trying to run from the gigantic cannon that can practically one-shot you, might even one-shot you if you're right in the middle of it, is not great. But if you deliberately try to make it so that you basically have it shoot while you're right next to that stuff, then it can at least take down the shields for you. It might even be able to take down the actual health of the generators. I was not really making a point of doing that once we had already gotten rid of the shields. That may or may not be possible. But there's also other stuff for us to loot here. So just trying to make a point of picking that up. Might have been the only other thing for us to do, though. Looks like that may be the case. Yeah, and once you've gotten rid of all the generators, like I said, you can just rush it down over here and either shoot at it point blank, and you may just, I mean, you can run around and shoot at it from down there, but it's significantly harder because it can actually shoot back. I'm not sure if it quite literally can't hit you there, or if it's just that it takes so long for its cannon to rotate when you're this close to it, that you can basically just play Ring Around the Rosie and it will never get you.
All over but the cleanup.
Okay, so let's nab some more platinum while we're at it. And let's head on in now, I suppose. Before we progress further, okay, let's save.
This server's facility contains hazardous AI technology. You agree to assume all liability for personal injuries or death that may occur during your visit.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, let's save. And, that's lovely to hear. And, we've got a Geth that's just chilling in this, like, force field, shieldy, bubbly thing. So that's kind of weird. But I don't think it's actually shooting at us or posing any threat right now. It's not even showing up as a red dot on our map. So at least, at the moment, we appear to be fine. But we'll have to keep our eyes peeled. See if there's anything else around here to cause us any issues. We have a research log, though. Let's check this out.
We just got word Atlas Station wants a dozen more gas for the experiment. And I hope this means a breakthrough is close.
For a second I thought he said he hopes that doesn't mean a breakthrough as close as if that person knew that this was a problem. Unfortunately, I don't think they were acting with that kind of caution. Of course, things might have played out differently if they were. Let's see, so we can go up here. It seems as though we've gotten everything down there already. A research log here we can listen to. Just check if there's anything else in this area. Some lab equipment, but why don't we check this out first?
Hanging around all these dormant machines is creepy. It's like death staring at us from the shadows. I'd rather work at Vulcan Station.
I'm not sure that's the case, really. I mean, yeah, it is weird working in a broken down Geth ship. I'll give you that. But I'm not sure it's any better working in an active volcano-y area. Not the extremely annoying sound effect again. Please stop. Your 375 credits is not enough to make up for that sound effect, I'm afraid. Okay, what do we have here? Medical station, or a med kit, and something unintelligible. And some creepy sounds. Alright, maybe the guy who says he doesn't want to work here is continuing to make a stronger case for himself. Oh! Great. Love it. Let's listen to this research log.
Flanagan just ran a simulation. If these Geth ever wake up, there's a 98% chance we'll be dead within 2 minutes.
Oh.
I'm starting to hate Flanagan.
Yeah, well, let's just say... Let's hope that if the Geth wake up on us, our chances are a little bit better than that. Okay, we've got, well, seemingly just this door over here. And again, the super dramatic, scary music is here. Horror vibes, again, in this mission in particular, much more prominent than they are in other missions. I don't like the looks of this hallway. Or the fact that that appears as though it was starting to open. This is a research log over here. More VI watching us and what have you. And rotating doors in our face, trying to give us the spooks.
Halloween was yesterday. Flanagan ran around wearing spare Geth parts.
Not cool, man.
The shit out of everyone.
Not cool.
Definitely hate him.
I don't blame you. This Flanagan guy does not sound like a cool dude.